you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
I'm your host, Ministry Idris Taha. With me again, the brother Fakil Abdul Aziz, co-host. And again, we have Lord Holy-Apostle Deen, Holy Queen Mother Rabia. I'd like to greet you on the name of the Lord Most High, the name of Ahezaah. May his peace and the blessing be with everybody's presence. We want to thank y'all for tuning in this program. You know, a lot of information many times being put forth to you to think about, to investigate. And at the same time, if you hear things in this program that you might not quite understood, like I said, we give out this information, our address, but I'm going to give it out again. We can be reached at A.H.A.D Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795, North New Jersey 07103. That's A.H.A.D Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795, North New Jersey 07103. Or you can reach us at A.H.A.D Incorporated, 8 Lyons Avenue, North New Jersey 07112. A.H.A.D Incorporated, 8 Lyons Avenue, North New Jersey 07112. And those who have surfed the web or internet, you can reach us at nearones at AOL.com. That is nearones at AOL.com. With that being said, we want to thank you for coming into our home for a while for this program this evening. We went in a part 2 of our segment about the truth about fear. Truth of fear, about the devil, Satan, about the fear of the Lord, the way it should be truly feared in the way of service to it. And Lord Holy-Apostle had making a good point, good discussion about the reality of Satan, how he was once an angel, how he's been fallen down by the Lord, taking him down, put him beneath the feet of the righteous. See, people every time think they are righteous. Many people have the mindset that they're righteous. They're really serving the Lord most time. And then many times they turn out to be many doers of evil or servants of the devil, Satan, unknowingly, unconsciously. But people looking at themselves, and that goes from the top down. I'm talking about for religious leaders, political leaders, so forth and so on. So with that being said, like I said, food for thought. Anytime you want to join in, please throw your hat on the table. Holy Queen Mother, I see.
One thing people have to recognize a lot of time why they think they're righteous is because this is what has been instituted in them through their religious studies, preachers, the imam, and what have you. And so they start their traveling on falsehood. They become unaware that the devil lives within them. That they are of evil as they are of good. And they don't want to recognize that the devil is within them. You know, they think that they have a contact with the devil outside of them, and and then they go into this emotional display of praying and what have you, and saying the devil made me do it like it's something so far from them, and not recognizing that the devil is within them, and that's why they become entangled with the devil outside of them. You know, until they come into knowledge of this, then they will not be able to be on the path to righteousness. You know, everything is goes by stages. And the first stage of development is to find out knowledge of yourself, become aware of who you are. You know, people institute, I'm black and I'm proud, I'm this, I'm that. And that may not be your description at all. You know, the first thing is you are of the devil. Another thing with African American people, you're not from Africa. You know, your ancestors might have been from Africa, but you've been mixed with so many other people that you're no longer African American. You know, most of us are Indian descent. Then we have that 5, 10, 15, 20% of Caucasian from rape, from slavery. That's why we look so, multicolored and multi-shaped and what have you. So there's a lot about yourself that you have to start coming in awareness of it before you can even claim righteousness. And, it's from the little things to the big things. righteous. You know,
Right.
first thing we want to grab hold of, I'm righteous. You know, but you can't even open your mouth to wish somebody a good day. So
Yeah.
to get on the path of that, you have to take on this information and apply it so that you can start on your journey. That's where we started from. You know, is to know these things and then to apply these things. So I'll let Holy-Apostle finish explaining to them about that garden of Eden.
Yes.
Well, before I get back to that Garden of Eden thing, first of all, to believe that you are righteous, the righteous, is wrong.
Yeah.
You're in error.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord says in the Holy Quran that only the righteous can uphold His temple.
Mm-hmm.
It is the righteous. It is the holy. See, the righteous is that which is right. And it is completely right. And it calls itself the righteous, just like it calls itself the merciful.
Mm-hmm.
It is the righteous. And it says submit to the righteous. It says be of the righteous, be with the righteous. Choose to surrender to,
Right.
to the righteous and be with those of the righteous.
Right.
And secondly, man on earth are part angel, part devil, and part animal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the three portions of our makeup,
Yeah.
which the Lord has made clear to me.
Say it again.
They heard me.
You know what I mean?
Because
Yeah, right. Put your tapes in.
But the thing about it is that going back to the Garden of Eden thing, which the part of the Garden of Eden is in us, that devil, when it says beware of the devil that hides in the center of the garden, that hides down in the garden, that garden is in us. That devil has a place where it lives in the back of our dome, back of our head, on that little knot back there. And anytime we try to rise as a people, that energy from our kundalini try to come up through the centers of our being, that devil was there to stop it, try to stop it from getting to that mind so it can come down into that heart, into that soul, and reconnect.
Right.
We've had people like from Hinduism, where Buddhism comes from, and Taoism, try to explain the chakras and meditation and what have you. Every people of the book, they're people of the book too. See, when the Muslims say the people of the book before you, they always think they're talking about the Christians and the Jews. They always want to label one individual, one group, individual group or whatever. But all the people in the book is all the people in the books before us. Even the hieroglyphics, the sacred hieroglyphics that's in the pyramids and in the tombs and what have you. Even sacred writings of the Native Americans that's in caves that they don't understand. You've had messengers just like John wrote on the cave. That was a divine message he wrote on the cave of Patmos when he was over in Patmos. Men have always written in caves and in places where the writing was steady. Before when they wasn't able to get paper and pens and things of that nature.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But that devil is in all mankind, a part of their makeup. And when Elijah used to talk about black man is God, white man is the devil. The black man is the devil too, and the white man is God too. But the thing about it is we didn't understand what God meant. Now, I kind of bowed down. I said, well, I don't know. But now my Lord has given me information. It said it have never named itself God. It don't acknowledge itself as the name God. It says God can be anything. The devil can be a God. God is that which can be worshipped and feared. So that's anything. You can fear a dog. And you can worship a dog. And they spell dog God backwards. People worship animals. People look at the people in the Eastern India. Those people who worship cattle. And what have you. Some people over there worship rats. So, those they're gods. With the Lord Most High, the creator, the reality, the eternal being, the almighty, infinite being is beyond all gods. It's beyond being feared, and it's beyond being worshipped. Now, you might say, how can it be beyond being feared and worshipped? Because it is beyond the height of your created mentality. And you can only fear something to the height of your mind. And you can only worship something to the height of your mind. And if it's beyond that, then it is beyond your fear and it is beyond your worship. It's beyond all your gods. And nothing that we do, touch it, change it, move it. How can you move something that's everywhere?
Yeah.
You can't move it.
Lord, would you say that the command to have fear of Ahezaah alone and worship Ahezaah alone and is for our benefit alone, just the benefit of the creation?
It's for the benefit of the creation. It's for your benefit. See, I thank Ahezaah much that I was created on the right side of it. Ahezaah speaks about those on the right side, those on the left side, those on the right and those on the wrong. I thank it because we are whatever it calls us to be.
Right. That's so true.
And I thank it much. I have a hard life, a hard job, but it's only hard when I give my mind to it.
Right.
Huh? Now, when it said to us, beware of the tree in the Garden of Eden, that tree that's at the center of the garden, huh? It says the tree of good and evil. What it was speaking about was that we go with that mind. See? The good and evil. You see, you can eat of every tree, all the other trees. But that one tree, that one tree of good and evil, what the Lord is saying is that it don't want you to mentally eat of having a choice. It don't want you to choose people. It don't want you to say, well, I have free will and I have a choice. It wants you to surrender to it and let it make your decisions. Let it guide you. It don't want you to sit back and try to choose. Now, when you take the knowledge of the positive and the negative, the good and the evil, then you start having all these choices. And if you choose anything other than the one, the righteous, you have made a mistake. If you choose the righteous 99.9999%, and that last itty bitty piece is of the devil, you're wrong. Therefore, it tells us to use the only power that we have, which is an illusion too. It's not really our power, but it says to use that tongue to speak the truth that you should have in your heart. Make that tongue and that heart be in conjunction with your soul, which with your soul is the commandments of the Lord that's perfect, that's right, and it's never changing. The holy laws are in your soul. Everything that the Lord wants you to be has been written on each soul. In order for you to get there to read it, you have to be taken there. You have to be read too. You have to be handled by the Creator itself. You see?
Yes.
It says we don't even look up to His angels. We don't have, as human beings, we have the only knowledge we have, the only experience we have is that which the Lord gives us.
Yeah.
Now, if we go about our way thinking that we've made something, like let's say all these books that I got, if I take claim of it, in the books that I write, I put the disclaimer in it. This is not mine, this is the Lord's.
Right.
I only sign my name to keep the people straight about where it came from. Don't let nobody else take the claim.
Right.
The claim is to the Lord, and I'm the servant of the Lord, the mouthpiece of the Lord, the hand of the Lord, the pen of the Lord. I'm the tool of the Lord. And in me, the Lord, it calls itself Kaf Aleph Lam Ha. That's my most sacred name. And Holy-Apostle Deen was in A.H.A.D, as well as Samuel, the strength of the Lord. In all that, I give claim to the Lord Most High. Why is it that people can run to me, run back to these temples and masjids and say, he's deluded, he's insane? Why is they teaching them to do that? When I only raise up the Holy Quran, the Torah, you know, the Vedas, all the books of the truth, and that which it gave me. Why? Why they find it so hard to understand, to stand under, in other words, what I'm saying from the Lord? Because they have not acknowledged themselves as being part of that devil, and that devil being part of them.
Right.
Therefore, they eat from that tree of good and evil, and they make choices. And sometimes the Lord gives them good choices, and sometimes He gives them bad choices. You see? But as long as they don't acknowledge the Lord, they have to suffer to learn the difference between the good choices and the bad choices. When the Lord calls for us to just surrender.
It was interesting, Lord. We were talking about the choices, and one description of it sounded like we were talking about conflict too. It was conflict.
Well, that's what the choices are. All choices bring conflict.
Yeah.
If I have to choose who I like the most between you two, I have to start thinking about you, everything about you, thinking about everything about you. Then I have to make a decision. Okay, who I'm gonna like the best? Who I'm gonna use? I say, okay, I'm gonna use Idris. Then something come up where you're good at doing, he's no good at it.
Right.
And I'm still trying to use him because he's my choice. So now I'm trying to make him be like you.
Right.
There's conflict I'm trying to put in this man. Instead of me asking the Lord to make my every choice, to walk me in my every step, to do my thinking for me, to guide me in everything, minus nothing. See, some of us think that the Lord is so high that we should only ask Him for things in church or in the masjid or in the synagogue, or when we really want something real bad. No. The Lord is at all places, at all times. I don't care what the Muslims say. The Lord is ubiquitous. I don't care what you say. The throne of the Lord is almighty. It's infinite. The throne of the Lord is beyond your knowledge. It's at all places, at all times. In every atom, the throne of the Lord is in every atom. It is the power of that atom, is the ruler of that atom, is the master of that atom. In every atom that make up all the essence of all creation, the throne of the Lord is.
That's all creation, including Satan.
Yes, minus nothing. And we need to surrender ourselves to that. You know, and Satan is not going to help you. I don't care how much anger you muster up, and because you know people anger up, muster, and believe that they gonna make right come to them. I'm gonna make this right. Yeah, like they teach you in school. Believe in yourself. Trust in yourself. Have faith in yourself. They make it sound so good. And they're evil. They teaching evil. What you gonna believe in yourself? When you're all faulty. The Lord said we are created in evil. Man is created in evil, and it's the truth. But it's something that needs to be understood. Huh?
Yes.
See?
Yes.
Elijah said the white man was the devil, called the Caucasian the white man, said he was the devil, and the man's the God, and God created himself. Well, we can break that down. You know, you create yourself every day when you get up. You start thinking about how you're going to be, and then there you go, you create something for yourself, and you go out there in your mind, and that's you. You created yourself. On a low scale.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? It's an illusion, but you did it.
That's right.
Huh?
That's true.
Now the devil he was talking about in the white man, he was pointing out the evil things that was being done to us and said, that's the devil. But Elijah knew that the devil was in the black man too, but he wasn't called to point that out. So much so.
Right.
I think you, Brother Fat Kid, used to say Elijah would come in and say, who let the devil in? Was that you who told me something like that?
I heard the phrase.
Oh, you heard the phrase, yeah. And I would laugh. I said, yeah, because he knew that the devil was in there. People look around looking for a Caucasian, you know. And the devil, Elijah laughed. The devil in there.
Nobody looking at themselves.
Nobody looking at themselves.
That's so true.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord has caused me to give me life in this life so that it would use me to come and explain even the things that Elijah taught. But I can't get Mr. Farrakhan to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
He won't trust the messenger of the covenant.
Mm-hmm.
He said he feared the messenger of the covenant.
He said that. Mm-hmm.
But he won't even have the respect of his fellowship to say the man is here. If you're not afraid like I'm afraid, go see him. You know?
So what I'm saying, what you said is his own devil won't let him.
His own devil
won't
won't let
himself
him
down.
humble himself down. And that's because he ate of that tree of good and evil. And he chose himself to be the divine, what do you call himself? Divine reminder.
Yeah.
He took a title. The devil gave him a title, and he took it. His devil gave him a title. It sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
When you start using attributes of the Lord and putting them to yourself without the authority of the Lord, then what that makes you? A doer of evil.
Yeah.
Now, let me explain this thing about evil real quick so that people will get a better understanding about what I'm saying. Anything that's in absence of the Lord is evil. See, the Lord is perfect. The Lord is all complete, whole. When we are born in this life, we come out of a nearness. We come from away from a nearness of our soul, which is the nearest thing to the Lord, of everything. You got men running around here talking about man is the only one got soul. That's the devil telling that lie, you know? But we come away into this life. So therefore, we always talk about getting on the path back to the Lord.
Right.
So if you come back to the mindset of the Lord, you can become whole, holy.
Right.
Whole of the Lord, holy of the Lord. Enlightened, light. Of Christ, of the Christ, like Jesus received. You can become what they call a son or a daughter or a child of the Lord because you come of the righteous mind of that Lord. Once you surrender completely, and then you be like what Jesus said, you die of this world. You must die and be reborn again. You must become like a babe, a child. Where a child is not guilty. The child, all the child knows is life. All it knows is what's within. All it knows is something's moving it. It ain't concerned about choices.
Right.
It feels desire for milk, for food, and it cries out, and that's its greatest gift.
Right.
And it just is. It's not in non-submission.
Right.
It don't look to question something else, but once you go out and start eating of that lower desire, that passion, that center, of life, you start asking all these questions, you start looking around and having reasoning, then you go further away from the Lord and have to find a way back to that reality of death where you can be reborn again. And get away from that evil. Now people will say, like they said about Muhammad. Muhammad said all men have evil. And they said, well, this is what's reported.
Yeah.
If you saying that, then that means you have a devil. And he said, yes, but my devil serves the Lord.
That's right.
You see? So when you come into the enlightenment like Christ, like Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, or Lao Shu, or any of the others, holy apostles or messengers, prophets, or whatever. You come into the oneness where the Christ become one with you, the light, Ra.
That's right.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
That all-seeing Ra, that fire, the eye of the Christ, you become, that evil of you becomes obliterated.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
It becomes burned up.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have the reality of it.
Okay. That's right.
It brings it, it snatches it out and it clean that up and purify and put it to service for it.
Mm.
So where the fire, if you got to go to war, you pull on that energy that comes from that.
Right.
Hmm?
Yeah. You said it has a function.
It has a function.
Okay.
It has a function. Sometimes we have to go against our own selves to do good, to do right. That's what we call sacrifice.
Right. That's what it turns out. Right.
We have to go against our own self.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I am with words. When you think about it, sacrifice almost sound like sacking the fire. Huh? Sacking yourself in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Or the ice. From one extreme to the other. Sacking yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Taking yourself down. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something.
You know.
And then recognizing the sovereignty of Ahezaah, that it's the only power. It comes back to who should be feared. You know?
Only Ahezaah. The devil should not be feared. No man should be feared. No other thing should be feared, because nothing can hurt you except what Ahezaah caused to hurt you.
That's so true. I think about what you're talking about, because you mentioned about the dog and everything before, and like people like our people now, especially our people have a tendency, you know, they get the more vicious dog, that pit bull, for example, and you touched on about the Lord and the devil. And I'm gonna put an analogy as the pit bull being Satan, and then the one that's controlling the dog as the Lord. But many times people see the dog and don't know that moment that God holding, that's the Lord holding the devil back or letting it loose on you, they fear that it's that dog. I'm scared of that dog. But no, it's the one you should fear the master who controls it.
Yeah.
That's one of the controlling the dog. You know, people look at that and say,
I'm going to give you another analogy. I'm going to give you a reality. Many of the people who got the dogs are afraid of the dogs.
that's it.
And they know if they're afraid of the dog, you'll be afraid of the dog. So they do what they feel is necessary to make sure that dog is trained, that won't turn on them. You see? So if they depend on the dog, then they fearing something else.
Well, I tell you, this conversation can go on forever and ever. This has been an I moment of calm before the storm. Continue to tune in at Tuesday
Who
night
of you
at 9.
want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?